Commander Alex Mason stood at the viewport of the Earth Embassy Station, staring at the glittering expanse of Galactic Council headquarters. His reflection showed a face lined with tension, but also quiet satisfaction. The announcement had gone exactly as planned. "Sir, the Stellar delegation is demanding an immediate audience," said Lieutenant Ryan Collins, looking up from his communication panel. Their ambassador used some rather colorful language I prefer not to repeat. Mason nodded. "Let them stew for another hour. Protocol dictates they submit a formal request through council channels first." Across the station, Earth's ambassador Olivia Grant was removing her formal diplomatic attire. The emerald green suit had been chosen specifically for the historic announcement, Earth green against the backdrop of alien bureaucracy. Her hands trembled slightly as she placed her ceremonial pin on the desk. "We did it," she whispered to herself. 3 years of planning, culminating in 12 minutes that changed humanity's galactic standing forever. A chime at her door announced the arrival of Dr. Laura Wilson, chief scientist of Project Lighthouse. "The Relaxian ambassador cornered me in the transit hall," Laura said without preamble. "He's convinced we've been hiding more than just the FTL communicator. The more advanced species are already trying to figure out how we managed to bypass their relay network." Olivia smiled. "Let them try. The quantum entanglement properties Nathan discovered don't follow their understanding of subspace mechanics." Meanwhile, in the main council chamber, chaos still reigned. Representatives from 37 spacefaring civilizations argued loudly in their native tongues, translator devices struggling to keep up with the emotional outbursts. "Impossible," thundered Zix Talon, the Stellar Confederation's senior diplomat. His scaled skin had darkened to a deep purple in anger. "The humans have violated Section 12 of the Technology Sharing Accord. They must surrender this communication system immediately." Ambassador Drell of the Centauri Coalition raised all 4 of her hands for silence. "The Accord only covers technologies already known to Council species. If Earth has independently developed something new, they are under no obligation to surrender it." "They were denied full membership precisely because they needed guidance," Zix Talon countered. "This proves our concerns were justified. They're dangerous." Back at the Earth Embassy, Mason received the first reports from home. News of the announcement had spread across human colonies, sparking celebrations. After decades of being treated as galactic backwater newcomers, humanity had finally proven their worth. The Andromeda Trading Consortium has already sent a request to open negotiations, Ryan reported, and 3 mid-tier species who previously followed the seller position are requesting private channels. Mason nodded. "Tell them we'll speak with everyone in due time. Priority goes to those who supported us before today." In her private chamber, Olivia reviewed the secure communication from Admiral Hayes. Earth's defense fleet had been placed on alert status, but so far there was no sign of aggressive movement from any alien ships. The door chimed again, and Laura entered with a data tablet. "The seller are scanning every frequency they can access. They're desperate to understand how our system works." "They won't find anything," Olivia said calmly. "The beauty of Nathan's discovery is that it exists entirely outside conventional detection methods." Mason joined them, his expression serious. "We've accomplished Phase 1 perfectly. Earth has demonstrated technological superiority without revealing our full capabilities. The political balance is already shifting." "And Phase 2? Laura asked. Olivia's eyes gleamed. "We wait 48 hours for the initial shock to settle. Then we reveal the existence of the ancient network. Once they understand what humanity has found, and what we're offering to share, even the seller won't be able to maintain their position against us." Mason looked back toward the viewport where distant lights of alien ships moved against the darkness. "They tried to exclude us, to keep humanity contained and controlled. They never imagined we'd find something that would change everything." The 3 humans stood in silence, watching the galactic capital where, for the first time since Earth joined the interstellar community, The future belonged to humanity. 5 years earlier, Dr. Nathan Carter had been working late in his lab at the Lunar Communication Research Facility. The sprawling complex was built into the far side of the moon, shielded from Earth's electronic noise. Most of the staff had already left, but Nathan remained, reviewing data from deep space signal tests. "That's strange," he muttered, adjusting settings on his console. A persistent anomaly kept appearing in the subspace frequency band, one that conventional science said couldn't exist. Nathan rubbed his tired eyes and ran the diagnostic again. The anomaly remained. It wasn't equipment failure. The next morning, he showed his findings to Dr. Samantha Wells, the facility's director. Her office overlooked the crater that housed their most sensitive equipment. "You're telling me this signal pattern exists completely outside our established subspace theories?" Samantha asked, studying the data. "Not just outside our theories, outside the Galactic Council's too," Nathan replied. "According to everything they've shared with us, this frequency range can't be used for transmission. Yet something is there." Samantha's expression changed. "If we could harness this, we could communicate across vast distances without using alien relay networks," Nathan finished. "We wouldn't need their permission or oversight for anything." Within 2 weeks, Samantha had assembled a small team and secured emergency funding under Project Beacon. Their lab was moved to the most secure section of the facility, officially listed as theoretical research. 3 months later, they achieved their first successful transmission to Mars without using conventional channels. No alien monitoring stations detected it. Admiral William Hayes visited the lab after their breakthrough. His weathered face remained impassive as Nathan explained their discovery. "The Council specifically restricted human access to long-range communication technology," Hayes said. "This could be viewed as a violation of our accession terms." "With respect, Admiral," Samantha countered, "they restricted us from using their technology. This isn't their technology. It's something they either don't know about or deliberately kept hidden from us." Hayes walked to the viewport overlooking the lunar landscape. "The political implications are enormous. If the Stellar Confederation discovers we've developed independent communication capabilities, then maybe it's time they stop treating us like children," Nathan said. "Humanity deserves full membership in the Galactic Council." 6 months later, the first full test occurred. Nathan sent a message to Earth's furthest colony, 500 light-years distant. The response came back instantly, with no signal degradation. "This changes everything," Samantha whispered as they verified the results. The Earth government debated for weeks about how to proceed. Reveal the technology immediately or develop it further in secret. "The Stellar representatives have blocked our membership application for the 3rd time," said Olivia Grant during a classified briefing. As Earth's junior ambassador to the Council, she had witnessed humanity's diplomatic humiliation firsthand. "They claim we're not technologically mature enough," Hayes added. "Meanwhile, they restrict our access to the very technologies that would help us advance." The decision was made. Project Beacon would remain classified until Earth could use it as political leverage. Samantha's team expanded their research, discovering that the ancient frequency had properties beyond simple communication. "It's not just a communications band," Nathan explained during a progress report. "There's evidence it was once used for something far more significant. We're finding traces of what appears to be an ancient network spanning the entire galaxy." Samantha added, "Whoever built this network was far more advanced than any current Council species, and the evidence suggests it was designed for more than just transmitting information." As months turned into years, Earth carefully strengthened its position while developing the technology in secret. They mapped more of the ancient network, discovering nodes in several star systems. "When we finally make our announcement," Hayes told the project team, "we'll need to be ready for the response. Some species will welcome us as equals, others will see us as a threat." Nathan looked up from his console. "Let them try to exclude us then. We found something they've either missed or hidden. Either way, Humanity won't be ignored anymore. Ambassador Olivia Grant walked into the negotiation chamber with measured steps. 3 days had passed since Earth's announcement, and now the real diplomatic work began. Representatives from 17 species waited inside, their body language ranging from curious to hostile. Ambassador Grant greeted Councillor Fenn of the Trizerian Alliance, a species known for their political neutrality. Your world's revelation has sparked quite the debate. Revelation implies we were hiding something, Olivia replied with a practiced smile. Earth simply developed technology independently, as is our right. The Tseller ambassador, Zix Talon, made a dismissive gesture with his scaled hand. Independent development. Impossible. Your species was granted limited access to subspace theory just 50 years ago. You expect us to believe you've surpassed millennia of established science in half a century. Olivia remained calm. Perhaps that's exactly why we succeeded. We approached the problem without preconceptions. Commander Alex Mason stood near the door, watching the exchange. His security team had scanned the room for listening devices beyond the official council recorders. They'd found 3 and disabled them quietly. Earth is prepared to discuss technology sharing agreements, Olivia continued. But first, we require recognition of our full council membership status. The chamber erupted in voices. Mason noted which species seemed supportive and which aligned with the Tseller position. The Drentari, historically neutral, had positioned their representative closer to Earth's delegation than ever before. Full membership is a complex matter, said the Ventari diplomat, their tentacles rippling. There are procedures, traditions that have conveniently kept humanity at arm's length for decades, Olivia interrupted. Yet now we've demonstrated advanced technology you all seem eager to acquire. Back at Earth's military headquarters, Admiral Hayes supervised defense preparations. Screens displayed the positions of alien vessels throughout the solar system. The Tseller battle group has changed course, reported Captain Frank Nichols. They're moving toward the Jupiter defense perimeter, but remaining outside weapons range. Hayes nodded. Standard intimidation tactics. Keep our response measured but visible. At the negotiations, Zix Talon was making his position clear. The Tseller Confederation questions the authenticity of Earth's claims. We demand a technological demonstration and inspection of your communication facilities. That would reveal classified information, Olivia responded. However, we would accept neutral observers from the Trizerian Alliance to verify our capabilities. This was a calculated move. Earth's intelligence had confirmed the Trizerians possessed less advanced scanning technology than the Tseller. As the session continued, representatives from smaller species began approaching Olivia during breaks. The Nebulan diplomat whispered, "My government is interested in discussing separate trade agreements with Earth." The Ventari representative, previously hesitant, now suggested, perhaps a provisional membership could be arranged immediately, with full status following verification procedures. Mason watched as the political landscape shifted before his eyes. Species that had followed the Tseller lead for centuries were now hedging their positions, unwilling to be left behind if Earth's technology proved genuine. In a private communication room, Olivia spoke with Samantha Wells via their secure channel. How much should we reveal about the ancient network in tomorrow's session? Just enough to intrigue them, Samantha advised. Mention the network's potential for energy transmission, but not its full capabilities. We need to maintain our advantage. By the day's end, 3 more species had privately indicated support for Earth's membership bid. The Tseller diplomats left the chamber visibly agitated. They're planning something, Mason warned as he escorted Olivia back to the Earth Embassy. Our intelligence suggests increased activity around their military installations. Olivia nodded. They've dominated council politics for too long to accept change easily. But we've already achieved more than expected. Tomorrow, we'll formally propose the new membership structure. As darkness fell over the council world, lights burned late in diplomatic chambers across the capital. The galactic power balance was shifting, and every species was recalculating their position in the new order that Earth's announcement had set in motion. Major Daniel Foster stood on the bridge of the EDS Valor, Earth's newest defense cruiser. Through the main viewport, he watched 5 Stellar vessels approach Earth's orbit. Their sleek purple hulls gleamed in the sunlight. "Status report," Daniel ordered, his voice calm despite the tension filling the bridge. Lieutenant Judy Wilson responded from the tactical station. "Stellar ships maintaining formation. They claim to be here on a verification mission authorized by the Galactic Council." "Which is a lie," Daniel said. Admiral Hayes confirmed no such authorization was granted. The Valor and 3 other Earth ships moved to intercept the Stellar fleet, maintaining a respectful but firm distance. Earth's military had strict orders: monitor but do not engage unless fired upon. "They're scanning us," reported Officer Carl Young from the sensor station. "Very detailed scans, trying to penetrate our defensive shields." Daniel activated the ship-wide communication system. "All decks, maintain Protocol Sigma. Shield sensitive areas according to training." In orbit around Mars, Intelligence Officer Kimberly Rodriguez was monitoring intercepted Stellar communications. Her small, unmarked station had been tracking the aliens since they entered the solar system. "This doesn't match their public story," she muttered, analyzing the coded transmissions. The patterns indicated military coordination, not scientific verification. She immediately sent an encrypted message to Earth Command. Back on Earth, Nathan Carter and Samantha Wells worked frantically to secure their research facility. The main components of Project Beacon were being transferred to a secondary site deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. "If they get even partial scans of our technology, they could figure out how it works," Nathan said, carefully disconnecting a quantum transmitter core. Samantha nodded. "The Stellar have some of the best scientists in the galaxy. We need to assume they'll try everything to learn our secrets." On the Valor, Daniel received new orders from Earth Command. "Sir," said Judy, "we're instructed to deploy the signal jammers." "Activate them," Daniel ordered. Immediately, specialized devices began broadcasting interference patterns designed to confuse Stellar scanning technology. The lead Stellar ship, the Dominance, broke formation and moved closer to Earth. Its captain, Drex Foran, sent a message to the Valor. "Human vessels, our scanning mission is authorized under Galactic Security Protocol. Your interference is a violation of interstellar law." Daniel replied calmly, "Captain Drex Foran, your ships have entered Earth's sovereign space without proper clearance. We are exercising our right to protect sensitive information." On the Dominance, Captain Drex Foran turned to his second-in-command. "Deploy the probe drones. If we can't scan them directly, we'll get closer with unmanned devices." Dozens of small metallic spheres launched from the Stellar ships, quickly spreading toward Earth's atmosphere. "Intercept those probes," Daniel ordered. The Valor's defense systems activated, firing precise energy pulses that disabled the probes without destroying them. Kimberly Rodriguez's voice came through on a secure channel. "Major Foster, we've decoded part of their transmission. They're targeting the lunar facility specifically. They know something about Project Beacon." Daniel's expression hardened. "How could they know about that?" "Unknown, sir, but their primary mission appears to be technological espionage, not verification." In the lunar facility, emergency alarms sounded as Stellar scanning beams intensified, probing for weaknesses in the defensive measures. "They're getting too close," Samantha told Nathan as they worked. "We need more time to complete the transfer." Nathan accessed the facility's defensive systems, activating countermeasures now. A previously dormant system came online, projecting false data signatures that would confuse Stellar scanners. It was a technology based on their breakthrough, using the same principles to create misleading information. In orbit, the standoff continued. The Stellar ships moved to surround Earth's defense fleet, their weapons systems powered but not yet targeting. "Sir," Judy reported, 3 more Earth cruisers are approaching from the Mars shipyards. They'll be here in 20 minutes. Daniel nodded. "Keep our position." Don't give them any excuse to escalate this. As the solar system's sun began to set from the Valor's position, Daniel knew this wasn't just a scanning mission. It was the first move in a dangerous game that could determine humanity's future in the galaxy. Ambassador Olivia Grant stood before the assembled Galactic Council, her posture straight and confident. The chamber had been expanded to accommodate representatives from every recognized spacefaring species. Even those who rarely attended were present today. Honored representatives, Olivia began. Earth has asked for this emergency session to share the second part of our announcement. The chamber fell silent. The tension from the orbital standoff in Earth's solar system had reached even this distant world. 5 years ago, our scientists discovered something beyond a new communication method. They found evidence of an ancient network that predates all known galactic civilizations. Displays activated around the chamber, showing star maps with glowing points of connection spanning the galaxy. This network appears designed for instantaneous matter transmission, not just communication. In simple terms, a transportation system that makes our current ships obsolete. Gasps and exclamations erupted throughout the chamber. The Stellar delegation huddled together, speaking urgently in their native language. Humanity offers to share access to this network with all peaceful species, Olivia continued. We believe this discovery belongs to all intelligent life, not just Earth. In the Science Center beneath the Pacific Ocean, Nathan and Samantha watched the council broadcast with their team. She's making the offer sound more generous than it is, Nathan commented. We still haven't figured out how to fully activate the transportation function. Samantha nodded. But we will. The principles are sound, and we've already made breakthrough progress since moving the research here. On the screen, the council chamber had descended into chaos. Species were taking sides, some demanding immediate joint research, others questioning Earth's claim. Zixtalon, the Stellar ambassador, finally rose to speak. This human fantasy is just that, a fantasy. There is no evidence of such a network in our extensive historical records. Olivia smiled. That's interesting, Ambassador, because our research team found this. The display changed to show an ancient Stellar text, translated for all to read. The pathways of the predecessors shall remain sealed, as agreed in the Compact of Silence. Knowledge of the network brings only destruction. The Stellar delegation froze. Other council members turned to them in confusion and growing anger. This text is from your species' early space age, Olivia explained. We believe that Stellar Confederation has known about the ancient network for centuries and deliberately suppressed knowledge of it. The Trizarian representative stood. Is this true? Have the Stellar hidden such knowledge from the council? Zixtalon's scales darkened with rage. These are fabrications, human lies. The original document is available for verification, Olivia replied calmly. Earth has already provided copies to the Council's Historical Archives Division. In Earth's orbital defense perimeter, Major Daniel Foster received an urgent message from intelligence. Sir, said Lieutenant Wilson, the Stellar ships are powering weapon systems. They're no longer pretending this is a verification mission. Daniel activated fleet-wide communications. All ships, defensive positions. Prepare for possible hostile action, but do not fire first. Back in the council chamber, the political landscape was shifting dramatically. Species that had been neutral or even hostile toward Earth were now questioning the Stellar's centuries of leadership. The Ventari representative's voice rose above the noise. If the Stellar have indeed hidden knowledge of technologies that could benefit all, this constitutes a grave violation of Council principles. Several previously neutral species publicly moved their representatives closer to Earth's section of the chamber, a symbolic gesture of changing allegiances. In their secure facility, Nathan showed Samantha their latest test results. We've successfully transported inorganic matter between nodes. Living tissue is next. Samantha studied the data. If we can demonstrate this capability to the Council, then Earth becomes the center of galactic transportation, Nathan finished. No species could afford to oppose us. As the council session continued, the Stellar delegation withdrew to a private chamber. Their leader contacted the Stellar homeworld with a simple message: initiate contingency Alpha. The humans know too much. Throughout the galaxy, the balance of power was shifting. Earth had moved from excluded newcomer to potential leader in less than a week. And beneath it all, the ancient network waited, its full potential still undiscovered after millions of years of silence. The attack came without warning. 3 stellar battleships appeared from hyperspace near Earth's moon, weapons already charging. Their target: the original Project Beacon facility. All stations, battle positions. Major Daniel Foster ordered as alarms blared across the EDS Valor. Defensive screen between the attackers and lunar surface. Earth's defense fleet moved quickly, but the Stellar had planned well. 2 more enemy ships emerged behind Earth's forces, creating a divided battlefield. On the lunar surface, research staff rushed to evacuation shelters. Most of Project Beacon's equipment had been moved, but the facility still contained valuable data. "They're targeting our communication arrays first," reported Lieutenant Wilson. "Tracking incoming weapons fire. Standard Stellar tactics. Cut communications before the main assault." Daniel nodded grimly. "Deploy countermeasures. And get me a direct line to Admiral Hayes." The Valor shuddered as stellar energy weapons impacted its shields. Earth ships returned fire, their newer weapons surprising the attackers with their effectiveness. At Galactic Council headquarters, Ambassador Olivia Grant received news of the attack during emergency discussions. She immediately addressed the assembled representatives. "The Stellar Confederation has launched an unprovoked attack against Earth facilities. This proves everything we've claimed about their intentions." The council chamber erupted. Even species allied with its Stellar seemed shocked by this direct military action. The Trizarian representative immediately stood. "We condemn this aggression and call for an immediate ceasefire." Other species quickly joined the condemnation. The Stellar ambassador found himself isolated as former allies distanced themselves. Back in Earth orbit, the battle intensified. 2 Stellar ships focused their fire on the Valor, trying to break through its defensive shields. "Shield capacity at 60%, Wilson reported. "We can't sustain this level of attack for long." Daniel made a quick decision. "Activate the prototype defense system. Authorization code Foster Alpha 7. In the secure facility beneath the Pacific, Nathan Carter and Samantha Wells monitored the battle through sensor feeds. When Daniel's authorization came through, Samantha nodded to Nathan. "Initiating Defense Protocol Omega," Nathan said, entering commands into his console. Across Earth's defense grid, previously hidden emitters activated. They'd broadcast a specific frequency pattern, one discovered during Project Beacon's research. The signal propagated through subspace, reaching the battle zone instantly. Aboard the Stellar ships, confusion spread as weapon systems suddenly lost power. Their energy weapons, which drew power through subspace conduits, failed simultaneously. "What's happening?" demanded the Stellar fleet commander. "Restore weapons immediately." But his technical officers had no answers. Something was interfering with their subspace power systems, something they had never encountered before. Daniel didn't waste the opportunity. All ships targeted disabling strikes. Engines and secondary systems only. "We want to minimize casualties." Earth's fleet executed the order perfectly, disabling the Stellar ships without destroying them. Within 15 minutes, the attack had been completely repelled. "We have Stellar crew requesting emergency assistance," Wilson reported. "Their life support systems are failing." "Provide all necessary aid," Daniel ordered. "And make sure our rescue teams record everything. The galaxy needs to see how Earth responds to aggression." At the Galactic Council, the Stellar ambassador was facing a formal censure motion. Species that had remained neutral for centuries were now openly supporting Earth's position. "The evidence is clear," said the Ventari representative. The Stellar Confederation launched an unprovoked attack after Earth revealed their suppression of ancient knowledge. Ambassador Olivia Grant watched with careful satisfaction. Everything was proceeding according to Earth's long-term strategy. The attack had only strengthened their position. Earth requests that Council peacekeeping forces be dispatched to ensure no further aggression, she stated formally. The motion passed almost unanimously. The Xellar, who had dominated Council politics for generations, found themselves voted down for the first time in centuries. In Earth orbit, Daniel surveyed the disabled Xellar fleet. Earth ships were now rescuing enemy crew members, providing medical assistance regardless of species. "Sir," Wilson said quietly, "we didn't lose a single ship, and Xellar casualties are minimal." Daniel nodded. "That's how humanity fights when necessary. We defend ourselves without becoming what we're fighting against." The emergency session of the Galactic Council stretched into its third day. Representatives from 117 spacefaring civilizations had been debating almost continuously, with only brief recesses for biological necessities. Ambassador Olivia Grant sat calmly at Earth's newly elevated position in the chamber. No longer relegated to the observer section, humanity now occupied a full council seat. The formal vote to ensure that Xellar Confederation had passed hours earlier with overwhelming support. "The Council will now consider Earth's proposal for structural reforms," announced the Trazarian moderator. "Ambassador Grant, please present your vision." Olivia stood and addressed the assembly. "For too long, this council has operated under a system that favors established powers at the expense of emerging civilizations. Earth proposes a new framework based on mutual respect and shared advancement." Holographic displays activated, showing a revised council structure with more balanced representation. "Furthermore," she continued, "Earth formally invites all peaceful species to join our research into the ancient network. Initial findings suggest it was designed to connect the entire galaxy through instantaneous travel." The Ventari representative raised all four hands in support. The Ventari Collective endorses Earth's proposal and requests immediate inclusion in the research initiative. More species quickly aligned themselves with Earth's position. Even former Xellar allies recognized which way the political winds were blowing. In Earth's Pacific Research Facility, Nathan Carter and Samantha Wells prepared for the arrival of alien scientists. Collaborative research teams were being formed to explore different aspects of the ancient network. "I never imagined we'd be working with so many different species," Nathan said, watching staff set up accommodation for visitors with various biological needs. Samantha smiled. "That was always the goal, though, not just to advance human interests, but to change how the galaxy works together." Admiral William Hayes entered the facility, looking tired but satisfied. The Xellar military leadership has been removed by their own government. The moderate faction is taking control and has requested peace talks. "So, no more attacks?" Nathan asked. "It appears not," Hayes confirmed. "Their attempt to strike us backfired completely. They've lost military standing, political influence, and the trust of their allies." On the Galactic Council world, a new chamber was being prepared for the reconstituted council. The old hierarchical design was being replaced with a circular arrangement where all species would sit as equals. Major Daniel Foster had been promoted to colonel and assigned as Earth's military liaison to the council. He walked through the construction site with Ambassador Grant. "It's happening faster than we expected," he observed. Olivia nodded. Once the Xellar attack failed, everything accelerated. Species that were fence-sitting for centuries suddenly found their courage. "And our technology. We're sharing the communication system as promised," she replied. "The transportation aspects will follow once we fully understand them ourselves." In a quiet corner of the Xellar homeworld, former Ambassador Zix Talon sat in disgrace, watching news of his civilization's changing position. The new government had already apologized to Earth and offered reparations for the attack. "They don't understand," he muttered to himself. "The ancients sealed that network for a reason." But his warnings no longer carried weight. The Xellar Confederation, once the dominant power in the galaxy, was now scrambling to maintain relevance in the new order. Back on Earth, Nathan activated a small section of the ancient network. A cylinder-shaped energy field appeared in the test chamber. He carefully placed an apple inside, pressed several controls, and watched as the fruit disappeared. On a screen, they could see it reappear instantaneously at a receiver node on Mars. The fourth successful organic matter transfer, Samantha noted, recording the data. We're getting closer to human testing. Admiral Hayes looked at the empty space where the apple had been. When this technology is fully operational, it will change everything. Distance will become meaningless. Nathan nodded. And Earth will be at the center of it all, not because we conquered or dominated, but because we chose to share. As evening fell across the Pacific, Nathan and Samantha joined a video conference with scientists from 23 species. The participants represented civilizations that had barely communicated before Earth's announcement. Now they worked together, united by 10 years had passed since Earth's announcement changed the galaxy forever. The ancient transportation network now connected over 500 worlds, with new nodes being activated monthly. Humanity had gone from isolated newcomers to respected leaders in the new galactic community. Colonel Daniel Foster, now General, stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station. The massive structure orbited a star at the galaxy's center, built specifically to serve as the hub for the newly formed Galactic Alliance. Representatives from all member species regularly traveled here through the ancient network. General, the ceremony begins in 20 minutes, said his assistant, Captain Judy Wilson. Daniel nodded. Is everything prepared for the demonstration? Yes, sir. Dr. Carter reports the new node is fully calibrated and ready for activation. Today marked the opening of the 100th major transportation hub. This particular node would connect the former Xellar territories with the distant Andromeda colonies, eliminating a journey that once took months. In her private office aboard the station, Ambassador Olivia Grant reviewed her speech one final time. Gray now streaked her once dark hair, a testament to the decade of intense diplomatic work. Ambassador, we've received confirmation that the Xellar Prime Counselor has arrived, her aide reported. Olivia smiled slightly. Who would have imagined 10 years ago that we'd be working so closely with them now? The transformation of Xellar society had been perhaps the most surprising outcome of Earth's revelation. After their military leadership was removed, a progressive government had implemented dramatic reforms. Now, the former galactic bullies were becoming valuable partners. In the station's main laboratory, Dr. Nathan Carter and Dr. Samantha Wells monitored final preparations for the demonstration. Their research team now included scientists from 32 species. Energy alignment perfect, reported Krell, their Ventari colleague. The node is ready for official activation. Nathan checked his own readings. Remarkable how far we've come. Remember when we were working in that secret lab on the moon? Samantha laughed, afraid that Xellar would discover our little communication breakthrough. Now we're teaching their scientists how to build network interfaces. The control room doors opened, and Admiral William Hayes entered. Though retired from active service, he had been invited as an honored guest for the ceremony. It's time, he told them. Everyone's gathering in the Grand Chamber. The Grand Chamber of Harmony Station could accommodate representatives from every Alliance member. Its walls featured artwork from dozens of civilizations, and the transparent ceiling revealed the stunning galactic core above. Daniel, Olivia, Nathan, and Samantha took their places near the central platform. The chamber hummed with conversation in hundreds of languages, translation devices creating a background buzz. Representatives of the Galactic Alliance began the Trazarian moderator. We gather to celebrate another milestone in our shared journey. Olivia stepped forward to deliver her address. 10 years ago, Earth revealed the existence of the ancient network. Many feared this discovery would lead to conflict. Instead, it has brought unprecedented cooperation. She gestured toward the viewing screen showing the new transportation hub. Today, we activate the link between the Xellar and Andromeda regions, bringing two formerly distant communities into direct contact. The Xellar Prime Counselor Once a junior diplomat who had opposed his government's aggressive policies, joined Olivia at the podium. "My people once sought to exclude others from galactic affairs," he acknowledged. "We believed power came from controlling information and technology. Earth showed us a better path. Sharing knowledge creates greater advancement for all." Nathan and Samantha approached the activation console. Together with its Stellar and Andromeda scientists, they initiated the startup sequence. The viewing screen showed energy patterns forming at both distant locations. Then, in a flash of blue light, the connection stabilized. Moments later, representatives from both regions stepped through their respective portals and appeared on the station, demonstrating the new link. Applause filled the chamber. Another barrier of distance had fallen. As celebrations continued, Daniel joined his old friends near the observation window. Beyond the station, stars filled the cosmic darkness, each potentially holding new discoveries. "What do you think the ancients would make of this?" he asked. Their network dormant for millions of years, now bustling with travelers. Nathan smiled. "I think they'd be proud. Whatever caused them to abandon the network, they built something meant to connect, not divide."